Welcome to Navigating Marketing and AI with Sydne Mullings, the podcast that unravels the dynamic intersection of marketing strategies and the cutting-edge world of artificial intelligence.
Hi, I'm your host, Sydne Mullings. In this episode, we're talking with Stephanie Ferguson. Stephanie, a 27-year Microsoft veteran, is the corporate vice president leading Microsoft's Global Demand Center, where she's responsible for driving the strategy and execution of marketing and sales programs for Microsoft's commercial businesses across multiple solutions. Stephanie's a passionate advocate for inclusion and creating opportunities for others. She's championed innovation in modern marketing technology, including AI. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thanks, Sydney. It's wonderful to be here.
So great to have you back, and for the second time making the podcast. And I loved our chat in a previous season, on season 1 actually, about influence. So I'm excited to talk with you today.
Same here. That was fun. This will be even more fun.
So to get us started today, I'd love if you could share a bit about your background.
I've been at Microsoft 27 going on 28 years, across actually different roles and different functions, but largely in marketing. And about 10 years ago, I started looking at what was going on with digital technology, what was going on with customer journeys, and started getting this idea about building a thing called the Global Demand Center at Microsoft. And ever since that, I've been working to turn that into reality. Essentially, it is our commercial integrated marketing machine is the way you should think about it.
That is amazing. And obviously, we work really closely together.
We did.
So that's one of the reasons I'm so excited to have you here. It'd be great if maybe you could share a little bit about your current role and maybe some of the facets that it covers in marketing.
So within the Global Demand Center, we run the e-commerce businesses globally for the company. So if somebody wants to come in and buy Microsoft Azure online and just give us a credit card, that's where they do it. Same with other product areas. And then we've got your classic marketing channels like web, social, demand gen, and we've got integrated campaigns across the entirety of the commercial business. And so all our B2B businesses, essentially. In addition to that, we think about working with our field and our CMOs in every region, and how do we enable you all with technology and with capabilities that are built once and then used many times. And we recently have taken on the responsibility for looking at marketplace from a product marketing standpoint and thinking about the journey of our software development companies who want to first build on Microsoft and then partner with us. So many, many different facets. Of course, I've got operations, I've got technical people, I've got analytics people that support all of that from a platform standpoint, if you will.
I love that. And I think it's such a great backdrop to have this conversation, the breadth you're looking at, the global scale of what you're looking at, direct businesses, marketing, operations. And so maybe we'll start with this rapid pace of change driven by AI, how do you see that shift in technology changing, influencing the programs that you're running through your organization?
First of all, it's influencing us as marketers. We are having to work faster, and we have to be okay with less structure. So we used to be able to prepare for conversations, multiple levels of preparedness, and it's just not the case anymore because of the pace. And in terms of specific programmatic work, it's given us the opportunity to really pull together for customers the different, seemingly to a customer, disparate things happening in AI at a company so broad as Microsoft. So it's been great that we are one integrated marketing team because we've been able to say, okay, how do we build a website that's actually left to right AI for the company? How do we think about a journey that's very early for a customer in terms of AI? So it's just a huge, huge opportunity for us. The topic is relevant to all organizations in all industries and all roles within those organizations. So we can really have an impact positively on those customers.
It's such an amazing point because as everyone is learning and trying, your organization sits in this epicenter of almost wayfinding for other
Hmm.
people. Like what's possible and how do these topics connect? It's a
Hmm.
really cool spot to be in. What could you
Hmm.
describe or share about your team's journey or any early learnings or insights you have from that?
In terms of how we are thinking about AI, I mean, every one of my marketing teams is looking at how AI can help them do more with less because, hey, we're still in that environment, right? And what we've done is we've put a degree of governance around this because you want everybody to, plant lots of flowers, but at some
Hmm.
point in time, you want to determine, where the marigolds are going to be, where the roses are going to be, and where the sunflowers are going to be. So I have a team that is looking across and saying, hey, who's doing something interesting? And how do we make sure that we're not kind of reinventing the same thing or something very similar but
Right.
differently? So if we see something good, we hold it up. We say, hey, can we get this out to more areas of marketing and make it be more useful? And we're already seeing some great examples. A big area is this concept of, kind of using that intelligent agent type of technology and making it usable to customers on the website. And then I guess the other place I'd say I'm really seeing it come to be a reality is taking tasks that are very mundane and repeated frequently and working them into an automated intelligent flow. So for example, making small changes to a website or making small changes
Right.
in a set of content. It's amazing what we've been able to do, just cracking this open and giving it a try. So those are just a few examples, but it is a very exciting time for folks in marketing in terms of the use of AI.
I love your garden analogy.
Hmm.
This idea of almost
Hmm.
like having people spread different wildflowers,
Hmm.
but then
Hmm.
figuring out, okay, well, which ones are the ones that are
Hmm.
growing well in this soil? Which are the ones we want to share more with our friends?
Hmm.
I have to
Yes.
remember that one. And I think your examples are so important. And certainly, what we want to have in this conversation are what are the tangible examples
Hmm.
people can take away. So, updating content is something that
Hmm.
in marketing happens every day. As you are thinking about your roadmap or experimentation, are there any things you're doing within your team maybe to foster new experimentation or anything you
Hmm.
see exciting on the horizon?
So there's a ton exciting on the horizon. And I should say, really, for marketers, I think the killer combination, Sydney, is generative AI plus automation. So we
Mm,
are looking at where is there something where generative AI can help us, you know, provide the answer, provide the content, provide the start, et cetera. And then how can we automate the use of what the AI produces, or how can we automate the feed into what the AI produces, the generative AI produces? We've
yeah.
been using machine learning and automation for a long time, but it's this fabulous combination. So if you take that updating content example,
Hmm.
what if you can have somebody just submit their ask, like, hey, I don't like this picture on the website. X mark through it, or please change this. And generative AI can see that, you know, understand that, and put in the request. And then you have an automation process that, takes the feed into that and then takes the feed out and knows how to use your content tools on the website and get that done. So it is that really, for me, on the horizon in terms of usage is really the exciting place. Think of what you can do for personalization. You got
Hmm.
customer come in, you can actually see something about them. You can have generative AI figure out what the next thing you should prompt them with is, and then you can automate that. So I just get excited about opportunities like that, and it's becoming real. I just saw a demo this week.
I love that example of of personalization and even workflow, right? There's so many
Yes.
steps to go through. We want to make sure we're taking the right steps for approval, as an example.
Mhm.
So how do
Yeah.
you allow someone an easy way to get into that process? I love that it's really taking advantage of the evolution of our technology.
Yeah.
So one of the areas I really wanted to explore, particularly with you, given
Mhm.
the breadth that you've described of what you're working on, is how do you think about some of those key tenets of responsible AI, safety, security,
Mhm.
trust, and is there anything maybe you can share on practices
Mhm.
or principles
Yeah.
around that?
We have a responsible AI team, and they basically follow a set of, documented practices
Hmm.
that Microsoft has established across teams. And so we essentially have to get things responsible AI certified in order to use them. And I love that. I have a privacy team in my organization,
Hmm.
and what I've done is I've expanded it to be a privacy and responsible AI team. Privacy and marketing, you know, is essential as well. You've got to handle customers' information very carefully, and you need to really assure them that you're trustworthy as a company, that they're going to give their information to, and that they will get
Right.
value and not harm from giving you that information.
Yeah, it's so important. And it's interesting whenever people ask me about my role, I think
Hmm.
they're often surprised when I start on the
Hmm.
privacy
Yeah.
message, the
Yes.
compliance message, and now this
Yes.
responsible AI message. It's so important. And it's such a
Hmm.
critical role that I'm so grateful for your
Hmm.
team for, because we know in leveraging their best practices and leveraging their guidance that we're following those right steps. So one of the things as we look to wrap up, I would
Hmm.
love to know from your perspective, what advice or tips do you give to leaders who are thinking about getting started down their path to leveraging AI in their business?
Manage to allow for messy time before you make it neat. That's one of the things. It's kind of that idea generation. You want a lot of ideas generated, but then you do want to, neaten those up, to the garden analogy. I think that's a really big one. The other one is recognizing that navigating this world of AI is really going to require adaptive leadership to help your
Mm,
teams do things that they've never done before in ways they've never done before. So adaptive meaning y- it's not been done before. There's no playbook for it. And
right.
so generally in these cases, I tend to set the goal or the vision, and everybody nods their head about that. But nobody really knows how to get started. So you
Right.
generally, as a leadership team, need to bring the team through step one, and then you bring people through step two, and then they start to really get to roles and responsibilities and how this works.
That is so awesome. I really appreciate that. The garden analogy is going to
Mhm.
stick with me. And I think that bit about experimenting and allowing
Mhm.
that time
Mhm.
for the team to
Mhm.
work through the newness of it together
Mhm. Mhm.
is really awesome advice. So as always, it's an absolute pleasure speaking with you again, my only repeat guest on the show.
So
So
honored.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your insights today.
Well, thank you for having me. Take care,
Yes.
Sydney.